Tired of shows that bark and scream at you? This is the show that speaks to you.
Here's the game plan.
It's the Big E Sports Extravaganza, where we go inside the issues, present a variety of topics, and feature some of the biggest sports guests on the planet. Now, here's the one and only, award-winning Elissa Walker-Campbell.
And it's been several years, but what an honor it is to have joining us right now legendary coach Marv Levy. Where in the world would you rather be than right here, right now on the Big E Sports Show? Hello, Coach. How are you?
Just fine, and there's no place else I'd rather be than right here, right now.
Well, thank you for the time, and we are looking so forward to previewing the matchup with the Chiefs and the Eagles in Super Bowl 59. But first and foremost, let's have you weigh in on your former team. What were your thoughts on last Sunday's heartbreaking AFC title loss against the Chiefs when we talk about the Bills? What were your takeaways?
Well, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And after we lost one of those heartbreaking Super Bowl games, that when our team had gone to four straight, I posted a quote from a 12th century Scottish warrior. "Fight on, my men," Sir Andrew said. "A little I'm hurt, but not yet slain. I'll just lie down and bleed a while, and then I'll rise and fight again." So you got to mourn for a while, then go back to work. It's a game. Have respect for your opponent. Remember the fans. Remember the media. The game is played because of the participants, players and coaches, because of the fans who support it, and because of the media that conveys it.
How much is Josh Allen responsible for Sunday's loss? He has an 0-4 career playoff record against Patrick Mahomes.
No one player is usually responsible. No, he had getting them to the state where they are now. He's a wonderful quarterback. Little bit I know about him, he seems like a high character young man. No, I don't blame him. They got as far as they've gotten, and they've been the competitors they are, certainly because of a lot of the contribution that he's provided.
You know, we talk about Josh Allen, but let's have you weigh in on Patrick Mahomes, because there's a lot of talk that perhaps eventually he's going to become the greatest of all time, and they have an opportunity to make history winning their third straight Super Bowl for the Chiefs. What is your perception, Coach, of Patrick Mahomes?
Well, the greatest of all time, I don't know if anybody can select one. Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly, I go all the way back to Sid Luckman and guys like that. No, it's pretty hard to say which one was the best. When there is one currently that is at the top of the ladder, he'll get that reputation. But 25 years from now, whoever the greatest quarterback in the league is, people will be saying he's the greatest one ever.
Yeah. Well, let's quantify what the Chiefs have been able to accomplish. They have an opportunity to win their third straight title. Does that make them the greatest? If they should win, would this make them the greatest dynasty of all time?
Well, it certainly is admirable. It's just remarkable how well they've done. The competition is always super keen, so I give them great credit. The fans there are wonderful. Believe it or not, the four teams that went down to the finals, the Eagles, the Commanders, who used to be known as the Redskins, the Chiefs, and the Bills, all four of those teams, I was once a coaching there. I was an assistant with the Washington Redskins under George Allen. With the Philadelphia Eagles, I was an assistant. And then I was a head coach of the Chiefs, and then the Bills. So I'm not saying I should have credit for them all getting there, but it's just sort of makes me blink to think of that.
How often do you think about just that special season of life and those incredible runs?
No, those were special. The Bills fans were just so wonderful in tolerating us after we lost those heartbreakers. They encouraged us, helped us get back. I had a great owner in Ralph Wilson. Fortunately, this is a great coach that helps you get there. It's a great coaching staff. And I had a remarkable group of guys on my staff. It was fortunate, very fortunate. You know, the Chiefs, several years before I went to Buffalo, there was a man inside the Chiefs organization who was undermining me all the time. He wanted me to change this player, do that. And he was responsible, finally. He was the financial director of convincing Lamar Hunt to fire me. 5 years later, Lamar called Ralph Wilson, owner of the Buffalo Bills, and said, Ralph, I made a big mistake when I fired him. And Ralph hired me.
The great Marv Levy with us on the Big E Sports Show. We're reliving and talking about a lot of really special memories. When we talk about some of those Super Bowls that you had the opportunity to be a part of, what was the toughest of the 4 losses? What comes to your mind?
About some of those Super Bowls. Oh, it was great to go to the Super Bowl game. Golly, the eyes of the nation are upon it. You have to immerse yourself in getting ready. I try every now and then to talk a little bit with Sean McDermott, the current coach of the Buffalo Bills. Well, my greatest college coaching experience, I was at about 4 different colleges, was at the College of William and Mary. And now the Bills head coach and the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach are graduates of the College of William and Mary. They were the ultimate student athletes there. They sure were. Not just they, but everybody that I coached there at William and Mary.
Well, let's highlight a couple of players that we want you to weigh in on. Steve Tasker and Cornelius Bennett. Are you surprised that they don't garner more consideration for the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, yeah, Tasker, Cornelius Bennett. They both, you and campaigning with Steve, because he's the greatest special teams player of all time. And the game is dependent on 3 equally important departments of play: offense, defense, and kicking game. Steve blocked more kicks than anybody ever, recovered more onside kick fumbles you've ever known. Cornelius was the final player we needed in Buffalo to finally propel us from being contenders to dominators in the AFC. And so you just named 2 of the greatest players I was able to coach, and guys of high character, too. Cornelius once was brought into trouble for having abused his wife. They're divorced. He later was so apologetic. He was so admitting of what he had done wrong, and he turned himself around and a fine individual.
Hey, we are winding down our time with legendary coach Marv Levy, and I got to ask you, weigh in on one of the conversations this week has been about Bill Belichick tossed out a suggestion that the Lombardi Trophy should be renamed the Brady Trophy since Tom Brady won 7 titles.
Brady is amazing. Yes, people say he's the greatest quarterback of all time, and I sure wouldn't argue contrary to that. But no, I don't think that would be a move. You don't all of a sudden, because the years pass, begin to say, who the heck was Vince Lombardi? No, it's the Lombardi Trophy.
Marv Levy took the Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s, part of the Bills' 50th anniversary team. He is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and here you are, 99 years young. And I got to ask you, Coach, what is one of the most rewarding things about getting older?
Okay, one of them isn't hearing, I'll tell you that. But, just that you can continue to see what the world is like and welcome new generations in. And I still like it on game day. I don't tape my ankles anymore like I did back when I played. But I'm very fortunate to have reached 99 years of age, and invite everybody to I'm too busy now to do it for my 100th, so I'd like to invite everybody to my 200th birthday party.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think the secret is to longevity and good health?
One of them isn't hearing. What is the secret to longevity? Somebody I once know said you only drink fine wine. No, that isn't it. It's exercise, proper diet, good fortune, good genes. I had wonderful parents. So there's so many things, and it's just one man's opinion. I'm sure there are more insightful answers to your question than I'm providing.
Okay, my final question for you is I want you to send a message to all Bill fans. What's your message to them in terms of staying patient so they can bring a championship to the city?
Never surrender. Churchill. Back at 12th century, fight on, my man, Sir Andrew said. A little I'm hurt, but not yet slain. I'll just lie down and bleed a while, and then I'll rise and fight again. And the Bills, keep on plugging. You deserve it. The fans of Buffalo sure do deserve it.
Yes.
And and I'm a fan now too.
The countdown is on for Super Bowl 59. Chiefs and the Eagles, February 9th, 6:30 on Fox. What a true honor and pleasure to have a meaningful conversation with legendary coach, Pro Football Hall of Famer, the great Marv Levy. We certainly learned a lot. Thank you so much, Coach.
My pleasure. Thank you. Goodbye.